Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another 22 Mendable video. Today, we're looking at FPL, and as you can see, I've already built my team. I'm going to be going through each player, explaining my choices behind them, and I'm going to give a few wildcard picks who I've not chosen who I pick in my team, but I might bring them in before the season starts. There's still a lot of time for this to all change. But yeah, going through the team then, we'll start off with the bench because the bench is probably the least important part of this team, let's be honest. So, we start with Gazaniga in goal. Out of all the goalkeepers of 4 million, I normally like to have two good goalkeepers, and I might change it. I have a hefty amount in the bank still. I believe if I just go over to the transfer page now, as you can see, I still have 4.5 million in the bank because I'm leaving myself a bit of room to try and test a few things. But this is my base team that I've chosen. So yeah, my goalkeeper at the minute is Gazaniga. It was originally Henderson. I did film this video about a week ago. No song inserted. But I did film it about a week ago where I did it on Live FPL, I think the website was called, and you can basically just choose your team before it came out, and they had predictions of prices. And I had Henderson and Alisson in goal. I will probably go back to Henderson if I'm honest, but for now, Gazaniga is in there. I've also got Gordon. Now, normally I have one waste substitute and two who will play. Elliot might play, but Gordon will. And Gordon's kind of like my substitute who will play. And so if he needs to come on, it's guaranteed 2 points. He could even get a goal or an assist here or there. Then moving on to Harvey Elliot, he's come back from an injury. Liverpool linked with a few centre mids. I don't think they'll get one. And I think he might get a little bit of game time. When he was playing at the start of last season before his injury, he was really good. And I think Klopp sees a lot in him in that central midfield role where he'll probably pick up a few assists. Maybe not too many goals, but I can see a few assists coming his way. And I think he's a really talented player. We'll just have to see over pre-season what Klopp does with him, and I'll change if he stays my team or not. And then Cameron Archer. He's a Villa lad, one of my best mates from school. I have followed him ever since he's come up from Villa. Really, I think he's an absolute brilliant player. And I think getting in there early with him this season could be a key factor. An injury to Ings or Watkins will see him pushing them for starting places. I think he already will be. If he's loaned out, I think it's a mistake by Villa. So I think getting in there early with Archer could be a good shout. I'm not saying he's going to score 10, 15 goals, but he might nick a few off the bench. He might also eventually come into the first team. You don't know what's going to happen with him. I think out of all the 4.5 million strikers, he's probably the best one. Moving on to the team now, and where the cursor is next to, we've got Alisson. It's a bold shout. A lot of people will say, "Oh, you just get a 5 mil keeper and a 4 mil keeper." I've gone up one to 5.5 with Alisson because I looked on when I was choosing my team, I looked at the players who got the most points last season. I don't know if it still comes up. It does. So we look here with Alisson. He got 176. Now only 4 defenders bettered him. Only 6 midfielders bettered him. Only 1 striker bettered him. I think an Alisson or an Edison will be a big thing this season. Now, I'm not saying that Liverpool are going to win the league or anything. I just think they're going to be quite good at the back because they've got quite a sturdy back line, and I think that especially the teams coming up may struggle to penetrate that. And I think you're guaranteed like 12 plus clean sheets with Alisson, plus probably a good few bonuses. So I think Alisson's quite a safe choice. A few people going Mendy, a few people going Lloris, but I'm going to pick Alisson as I think he has one of the better starts. Ramsdale is also a really good option, but as you can see quickly, just there's 3 Arsenal players. If I was to get rid of Tomiyasu, I'd bring in Ramsdale and put in the extra 5 million somewhere else in the team. But yeah, moving on to the defence, we'll start with Tomiyasu, as I've already touched on him. Tomiyasu, it was close between a few Arsenal defenders, but he's the cheapest out of the 3 I think I was going to go for. And I think, he had some really good times last season where he got quite a few assists racked up. I don't think he got over too many in the end, No, he didn't get one, surely. If he only got one assist, I'm very surprised. That was for he got looped it over the top for someone. I'm surprised at that. But he got 9 clean sheets coming in. The further he develops himself into that position, I think he could be a really good asset at 4.5 million. In defence now, we've got Trippier. I think it should be a pretty guaranteed spot for most teams. For only 5 million, I think is a great little pickup, especially as your kind of fourth choice centre back, which for me he's kind of joint third. But yeah, as that kind of fourth centre back where don't want to spend too much. If you've probably already got Cancelo, Trent, and Robertson or James or someone. James was very close to this team, by the way. In fact, uh, I may even take out Perisic, who we'll get onto, for James a few weeks in. But yeah, going back to Trippier, I think he's on free kicks. He's going to get assists. He might even pop up with a few goals off the free kicks. He's probably going to be on a corner. I think he's just a guarantee. I think you've got to have him in your team. Cancelo and Trent, we don't need to stand there too long. Cancelo had an amazing season last season. Trent, top assister. You've got to have both of them in the team, I think. The only reason I'd maybe not have Cancelo is if Cucurella comes into Man City. I'd maybe consider not having Cancelo because him and Walker will rotate a lot. But I think, and obviously, a right back Cancelo is still good. I just think his output at left back was so good that if Pep doesn't use him at left back still, he's a bit of a donut. But I'm not going to question Pep. I'm not here to question him. Anyway, Trent, brilliant player, outstanding. He's basically another midfielder. You basically got an extra midfielder with him in the team, and he's going to get you clean sheet points. So you may as well have him in. I don't think there's any reason to not have Trent in your team. Moving on to midfield, it's a bit questionable. I know you're going to say, where's your De Bruyne, where's your Salah, where's your Son, where's your Jared Bowen? Bowen I want to bring in after a few games because if we just look at the fixtures right now, I don't know if I can do this. No, you can't. West Ham have Man City. Yes, they have Forest away. But I'm pretty sure they're then going to have quite a little difficult run. Maybe not. Maybe Bowen could be brought in then. But I want to actually just look at this quickly because I thought they had a lot harder of a running. A lot harder of a run. Hang on, Bowen quickly. Okay, you know what? Bowen might be someone I bring in. This is what I'm saying. My team will probably change. Bowen might come in after that Man City game for someone like I don't know, for a Maddison or something. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. There'll definitely be changes. This won't be my last team at all. But yeah, let's move back over to here. Maddison. Oh, we'll touch on Saka. Amazing season last season. I think he'll only get better and better. I don't think Rafinha's going there now, which I did worry about Saka's game time. Whether he moved over to the left, where I think he's less effective. I still think he's effective there, but I think he's just better on the right. So yeah, I'm glad Rafinha doesn't look like he's going to Arsenal now, so that Saka can maybe thrive a little bit more. Maddison, I think for the first game week or so, I think he's your man. I think obviously you're Arsenal. Well, yeah. Maddison might be someone again after the Brentford game. He'll probably be the one I try to swap for Bowen, to be honest. I did look at this and I thought, for some reason, I thought he'd be a great choice. But you look at Maddison for someone you'd probably want to bring in for these game weeks because that's a brilliant run of games for Leicester. I think might have a little bit of an upturn this season. I think they'll get around, I think they'll be closer to 7th and stuff than they were last season. I know they finished 8th in the end, but I mean points wise and consistency wise, I think they'll have a better season. Bruno Guimaraes, again, I think he's I think he's got to be there. For just how he did last season. He took a while to find his feet, and he also didn't play that many games when he first joined. But I think he'll build upon 5 goals and 1 assist. I think you'll see more assists this season with the signings they're bringing in. I think he'll be up there at the top of the pitch most of the time. And also moving on to strikers. Now, these two for me, they're my baseline. Because Arsenal have such a good run of fixtures at the start. They have an amazing run at the start. I mean, Man United, we'll see how they start the season. But until Spurs, you've got a good game where they should be winning each game, really. Depending, obviously, on, as I said, on how Man United do and how they start the season under Ten Hag. But based off last season, you'd say they should be winning all those first 8 games. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on, because he's not used to being that player who's going to play every single game, and he probably will be. Yeah, and he could also go out to the wing, and that's why I think it's good to have him, because I think he'll play most of the games. If a player's injured, like a Smith Rowe or a Martinelli or a Saka, he can drift out to the wing, and then Nketiah can play up front. It's very fluid with him, and I think he's going to get you plenty of goals and assists. I mean, you look at his previous seasons, even when he's not playing as many games as he should be, he's getting 7+ goals a season. I think you'll see more around these numbers this season from him. I think he'll be probably about 16 goals and seven assists. We'll say that 16 goals, 7 assists, which is perfectly fine. And the big man, Erling, my man Erling. Some people say we look similar. I don't. Anyway, Erling Haaland. I think you have to have him. It's either him or Nunes, and I think, for me, Nunes hasn't done it over the seasons like Haaland has. I think Nunes had 2 good seasons. I mean, we can go and look at it now, really. So this kind of doesn't put it into perspective how I wanted to. He had a really difficult first season at Benfica. 6 league goals and 10 assists, which 10 assists is good. But the 6 league goals, that's kind of what I don't think I'll get many assists in this Liverpool setup. But we will see, because I think it's going to be difficult to fit in at first. But I think that he will do it eventually. I've also said with Haaland, it's not fair to just look at Nunes. I think Haaland and City will have to adapt, but that's what pre-season is for finding your feet in a team. And I think Haaland will be great. And I also think they have a slightly easier run of games in Liverpool. Slightly. These have Man United, Newcastle at home, which I think getting that game at home before Newcastle can find any form is good, because Newcastle, you don't know who they're going to sign. You really don't know who they're going to sign. Whereas Man City, they do have a slightly easier game. I'm surprised these have gone as 3s. I think Tottenham win the league this season. Let's not say any more on that before I get murdered in the comment section. But yeah, that is my team. Let me know your team in the comment section below. Tell me what you'd change from this. It will change before the season starts, and when the season does start, I'll have an update and I'll tell you what's going on with the team, where it's at, what kind of changes I've made. Because I imagine probably about 5 of these won't be there minimum before the season starts. So yeah, we'll see. Transfer window's still open, so there's also that. And since the video that I just recorded, I've started an FPL league for the YouTube. It's called 22 Men and a Ball YT League, so for YouTube League, whatever. The code will be on screen now. I'll just read it out for those of you not looking at the screen. QR4R07. Make sure you go and type that in on your FPL app or on the website, whatever you use, and join the league. We want it to be as competitive as we can, so that when we have the cup come around, there's a load of matchups from an early game week as well, and also so the league is more competitive. So yeah, let's try and get at least 20 people in there. Why not? So yeah, make sure you join using the code in the description and the one that was on the screen. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Until then, have a good time. Bye-bye.
Shut up and sit down.